In the first two videos, we have drawn some lessons from the Old Testament story of Moses sending 12 spies into the land of Canaan to find out how best to conquer it. We discussed the fact that, like the Israelites of old, we as Christian leaders today need to do research on the job that God has given us to do to find out how best to do it. We need to study not only the people who are the recipients of our ministry, but also our donors as well, so that we can more effectively work together. God has given us research tools to help us to understand how best to minister to people, how to learn about their needs and interests and their passions. We have also highlighted the importance of asking the right questions when we're doing our research. Not questions about whether we should be doing something, but rather how we should go about the work that God has called us to do. But you know, there's one more important lesson that we can draw from this particular story in the Old Testament. And that is 10 of the spies went into the land, and what they focused on were the ferocious people who lived in nearly impregnable walled cities in the land. So what they focused on were the challenges and the problems, whereas Joshua and Caleb focused their attention on who God was and what he could do in spite of all of those challenges and problems. Like the spies, when we conduct research on the recipients of our ministry, we are confronted with two types of situations. The first one is what we refer to as threats, challenges, and problems. We know that many people we minister to have deep-seated problems, and it's really easy for us to become overwhelmed by those problems and only look at those problems. At this point, we, like the children of Israel, have to make a decision. Are we going to focus only on the threats and the problems and challenges, or are we going to focus on the great opportunities that God has before us to help bring about changes in the lives of the people He's called us to minister to? We all know that we can't ignore those threats and those problems and those challenges. But what we do is we conduct research to figure out how to approach them. By the way, sometimes some of the biggest problems and threats that we face are internal to our organizations. The ways in which we are ministering to people are simply not as effective as they need to be. And we, as leaders of a Christian organization, need to be ready to own up to those and determine that we're going to make changes so that we can indeed minister effectively to people. To learn more about the threats and the opportunities that your ministry is facing, I'd encourage you to call our phone number at 972-304-1100 or go online at advocacy.com/consultation to request a free 1-hour consultation on how research can help you face those threats and problems and also be aware of the opportunities that God has in front of you.